This week I watched 500 Days of Summer. It's a film by Mark Webb and it stars Zooey Deschanel and Joseph Gordon. It goes against the traditional love stories in films because they don't end up together. Um, and that's very unusual for the time. For the hallmarks, I chose aggravation and females that are stronger willed than the male characters. For aggravation, Tom is more needy and dependent, and Summer is more reserved and she doesn't want long-term commitment. She doesn't really believe in love, and so this causes a lot of tension in terms of where they want to go in their relationship. Um, and then for the females being stronger-willed, Summer is very clear about what she wants in the relationship. She doesn't want any long-term commitment, and she doesn't change her ideas for Tom. And then she breaks off the relationship and doesn't end up going back to him, which shows that she's stronger than Tom because Tom becomes depressed and he just wants her back. And he's willing to change things about himself for her. For similarities between It Happened One Night and 500 Days of Summer, both have tension in the relationships. Ellie and Porter in It Happened One Night, they both have kind of conflicting personalities. Porter thinks Ellie's out of touch. Ellie thinks Porter's rude. And so they conflict often throughout the movie. And then also, neither movies have it where both characters fall in love at once. In 500 Days of Summer, Summer doesn't really ever fall in love. And then in It Happened One Night, it kind of grows into love, but it doesn't really start out that way. And then for differences, their structures are different. 500 Days of Summer isn't linear. It kind of jumps back and forth their relationship. And then in It Happened One Night, it is linear, so kind of it flows. It has a beginning, middle, end. And then in It Happened One Night, there's a happily ever after where they end up together, they fall in love, that kind of thing. But then in 500 Days of Summer, they grow apart and it doesn't end up being a love story, for Tom at least. And yeah.